Hi, my name is Jon Rizzo with TTN HD Productions. We're here at the Boston International Film Fest. I'm here with...
My name is John Elfers. I directed the feature film Finale. It's a horror film. It's playing this Friday night at 9 p.m., session 33.
Awesome. Tell me, John, what's the film about?
Okay, the basic deal is that a mother finds out that her oldest son was sacrificed by a demonic cult. No one believes her, so she has to take down the cult herself.
Oh, man. Any personal connection with this story?
Actually, there is. You can find out more about it at finalethemovie.com, but the basic premise came from a personal life story of my own. I had a lot of personal tragedy within my own family when I was younger, and I used the film as an outlet to kind of deal with some of those demons and bring up topics that my family couldn't talk about before then, but put it in a context of a movie that I'd actually like to watch. It's like action-packed and exciting and colorful and dynamic with, like, you know, demon worshippers riding around half naked in a pit full of bones and corpses.
Whoa.
And yeah, and a demon that comes through mirrors to attack and kill people. So, you know, it's a way of doing something very personal, but actually having fun with it, making it something people actually want to get out and see.
Good. Some cool effects in there?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big things that we did is we shot in film, which no one does anymore. And since we shot in film, we had to do all our effects in camera, which means what you see in the movie is how it looked when we were shooting it, which was a tremendous amount of work, but it really paid off because cheap effects, cheap CGI, they tend to look really shitty. And when you do something that's in camera, it has this kind of organic feeling that you can't fake.
Old school.
Yeah, totally old school. The whole movie is like 1970s style horror. Back when like independent films were actually made, when you'd actually like get out there and you'd be like, well, fuck, we need a fire. What do we do? Well, we light something on fire, you know? Yeah. Versus now, whenever
CG,
exactly. Now when it's like, well, we need something on fire. Well, we'll just put it in post. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what the fuck, guys? It's a fire. Light a fire.
I know.
So yeah, the climax of our film has like this fire trail that whips through this old abandoned building, and you know, we
lit it up,
fucking laid out a trail of gasoline and lit it on fire. That's how you do it.
Awesome.
So,
Good to hear. So you shot a film. What did you shoot on? Tell me more about.
Oh yeah, sure. No, we got a grant from Panavision. We got a grant from Kodak, Laser Pacific. So we had a lot of like kind of corporate support because we went out and did all our pitching for it. Yeah, we shot on Super 16 film and Super 8 regular 16. But
any trouble with the audio on there from the camera?
Oh Jesus. Yeah, no, I can't tell you how difficult it is to work with this stuff. Nobody's used to it anymore. Nobody's used to having these kind of
light,
focus.
Well,
everything. It's I mean, when you're shooting on film, you got to worry about things that you just never consider. Like we ran some of our lights off a construction generator.
Oh,
we thought,
man,
hey, look, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know.
60 hertz, man.
So yeah, dude, you're totally on it. So what you got was these lights going.
Steven Spielberg used that in
did he?
Alien.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
Man.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. So some of our exteriors, you got this kind of like pulse going on, but mostly we reshot the scenes that had that. And then yeah, I mean, when you're shooting on film, there's just all these little things that can go wrong in terms of frame rate slowing down and like, you know, slight flicker or like. I mean, we had one frame anyway, but we got it through. We got to the end of it. It took us 4 years to finish this movie, from when I wrote the script until like right now where we're standing. And yeah, we had pretty much every obstacle that you could imagine somewhere in there, but we managed to make a film that you can watch it and a character can like literally get up and walk into a scene that's 2 years later and sit back down into a scene 2 years earlier and you don't notice. So
that's key.
Yeah, I know.
That's filmmaking. That's a trick, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I've seen a lot of indie films where you notice like, hey, their jacket changed or this changed or whatever, but we managed to make the film completely seamless so you could watch it, you could not know any of this and actually still enjoy it. And then you find out the story behind it and you're like, holy shit, you guys did this like this low budget and this like over this, yeah, so
hardcore, man.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. Now tell me how you met the key cast and crew members.
Oh yeah, sure. Our two leads we actually cast out of Los Angeles, and it was just a simple audition process. They'd actually taken a Meisner acting class together, and so the mother-daughter team in the film actually knew each other before I'd met either of them. And then everyone else, we shot most of our film locally in Cincinnati, Ohio. We shot some scenes in Compton, California, and Koreatown. Yeah,
straight out Compton.
Yeah, we just went straight to Compton because nobody else would let us shoot in LA for the kind of money that we had and like the kind of locations we needed. We needed these old like rundown locations, and LA doesn't have anything like that. I mean, here in Boston, you guys have these beautiful old buildings and these old like Victorian. Well, no, but they're gorgeous and they got all this history and
a lot of life here.
Yeah, exactly. And in Los Angeles, nothing's older than 50 years old. So you look around, and we're like, yeah, we need an old rundown high school theater that's like, you know, big and gothic. Just didn't exist, but we found Compton High. So nice. Compton High had that look.
Tell me about your crew. Tell me who you had and what they did.
Yeah, I got some great people. My DP and I actually went to school together, and the whole thing sprouted out of, like, basically we were both from Ohio, and we were talking about, like, how can we get a first film made right out of school? And we were like, well, fuck, let's just go back to Ohio where we don't have to pay for permits, and, like, you know, we can get some stuff for free.
Some free film equipment, everything,
and,
people.
Yeah, and just regular support and whatnot. And so the two of us, we started with just a script, and we just got it done. So
wow, so personal investments and stuff, huh? Tell me about the budget.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, on an independent film, you're not really supposed to tell what your specific budget was. And the reason for that is because when you're trying to sell a movie, and I got this, see, when we were making it, we were like, oh, it's so low budget, we got to tell everybody what our budget was so they'll appreciate what we did. But then I met someone working for Anchor Bay, and she was kind enough to tell me, look, as soon as we find out your budget, we'll tack on 10%. That's what your movie is worth to us. So unless you want to make, you know, no money on your project, what you end up saying is less than $1 million.
So it's $999,999.
Yeah, exactly. So all low budget filmmakers will tell you when you ask that question is, well, we made it for less than $1 million, and hopefully you can appreciate it for whatever we're able to accomplish.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now tell me, so you told me about the equipment.
Yeah.
You told me a little bit about the obstacles. Tell me, what's your main message here behind this movie?
Oh gosh, main message. I don't know, that's really interesting. A lot of it was about the personal conviction of the main character, because she's trying to do what's best for her daughter, and her daughter thinks that what she's doing is actually, well, in this case, threatening her life. And that, again, went back to the personal story that I went through. When I went through the tough events in my own family, my mother was looking out for my best interest. She just was very misled. And so I tried to look back at what had happened in my own life and put it into context that I could understand her point of view, even though I didn't agree with her point of view. So, so in my own life, my oldest brother died, and my mom decided that the best way to deal with that would be that she would imagine up the scenario where he was killed by a satanic cult, which had nothing really to do with what had happened. And she made a lot of really difficult choices because of that really affected my life. So years later I came back to it and I said, well, you know, if she had been right, that would have been the most heart-crushing thing in the world. And so that's the basis for the movie, is the mother's right, the satanic cult did kill her son, no one believes her, and she's the only one who can do anything about it.
Wow, that's quite the connection, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. It's tough.
Well,
but way to, you know, you gotta transform it through art, right?
Yeah, that's what art's for.
Yeah, very cool, man.
Yeah.
Tell me, say something to the future audience here. Why should they come see your film?
Because the film's fucking awesome. Can I say fucking on this? I'm sorry.
Say whatever you want,
yeah,
man.
I know.
Fuck shit, crack balls.
No, but seriously, you got to get out and see our fucking film. We put so much work into it. It's beautiful. You'll never see anything like it anymore. I mean, people just don't make these kind of films these days. So everything was hand-built by, like, as I said, sometimes as much as 8, sometimes as few as 2. We built our sets. We set designed everything ourselves, and, like, it's gorgeous. You just got to see it.
Yeah, very cool, man. And next time, say earmuffs if you can first for the audience. And then tell me, what's your view of the film industry right now? What's going on around here in Boston and LA? Is there a movement going on? We just saw Slumdog Millionaire come out of Bollywood. What's going on with the world of filmmaking right now? Oh gosh, I mean, I'm not really informed enough to say anything definitive like that. Other than that, everyone is panicking because of the financial crisis right now, especially independent filmmakers. There's no money that's, I mean, it was hard enough getting independent financing when there was all that free-floating money out there. Everyone we talk to nowadays, it's like, well, good luck. Yeah, I mean, even the people that were really well established in this. And just one thing that I wish I had heard when I began all this, you know, now looking back on it, and I talk to young filmmakers and they still tend to say this, is when I started out, everyone said, oh, you got to start doing horror films because, well, 2 reasons. 1, because they'll always sell, and 2, because you don't need name actors. Neither of those are true anymore. I make horror films because I actually like horror films, but I know a lot of people that make horror films because they thought that was the easy way in. And unfortunately, with like digital technology and everything, there's just a shitload of them out there. And there's been a shitload of them out there for about 5 years now, so they're actually very difficult to sell. And at some point in that 5 years, people started saying, well, maybe it would be more marketable if we did use TV actors. So now there's competition like there's never been before, and there's also a lot of name actors that are actually starring in these things, which makes it far more difficult for someone like us that made a film that we actually believed in to get out there. So I hope someone out there sees this and comes out to see our movie. Yeah, very cool. And just again, your name and the name of the movie? Yeah, again, my name is Jon Elfers, and the movie is Finale. And you can check out our trailer at www.finalethemovie.com. And I'm Jonathan Rizzo here with TTN HD Productions at the Boston International Film Fest. Thank you very much for watching.